Hey guys, Cameron with CBM Reviews here, and it's time to talk more about Avengers 4 theories. I'm essentially going to talk about the things that I didn't talk on in part 1, so if you feel like I'm missing some parts, go ahead and check out part 1, and then jump on back and check out this part 2. And before I continue, I just want to thank all my subscribers. I appreciate you all very much. If you want to keep up with this kind of content, just go ahead and click that subscribe button down there. And if you want to make sure that you don't miss a single video that I put out, hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified every single time I put out a video. So after saying that, let's continue. The last video, I talked about all the characters that we did see. I did not mention any of the characters that we did not see. So there's 3 that I want to touch on. First one being Captain Marvel. We got a very little tease at the very end of Infinity War. We saw that Nick Fury had paged or sent a message out to Captain Marvel. We haven't actually seen this character yet. She's going to have her own movie in 2019. What do I expect from this character? I expect a boss. I expect somebody who, when she shows up, the Avengers are going to fight her and they're going to realize that they're on the same team eventually. I expect to see some sort of spectacle between her and Thor at the very beginning. I do expect her to be instrumental in the takedown of Thanos and the takedown of Nebula, because I expect them to kind of go along with the Infinity Gauntlet story. So that's all that I can say. Having not seen her actually on the screen, I don't know exactly what all to expect, but I do expect some amazing fight scenes with her in it. Also, we have Hawkeye. We didn't see Hawkeye in Infinity War, and I expect Hawkeye to be a completely different kind of character when we see him in Avengers 4. I expect to see a character who's less like the Hawkeye that we know and more like the Punisher, or more like Bullseye. I expect to see somebody who's savage, because this is after the snap, guys. And if Hawkeye's there, that doesn't necessarily mean that all of Hawkeye's family is still there. I expect one, if not all of his family members to be gone, and this is a Hawkeye that has nothing to lose. We may see him at his most savage level yet. I'm looking forward to see a Hawkeye who is just straight up Terminator style archery BA. Next and last on this list of characters that we didn't see is Ant-Man. I expect Ant-Man and the Wasp to survive the snap. I expect Ant-Man to be very instrumental in getting back the characters that were snapped out of existence. As I said before, I think they're in Soul World, which is in the Soul Stone. In order for them to come out, maybe Ant-Man uses the quantum mechanics that he used in the first Ant-Man movie and what they're going to use later on in Ant-Man and the Wasp to go into these pocket dimensions and find the characters and get them out. I don't know. That's a huge fishing expedition, but it's not completely out of the realm of plausibility within the MCU. I also expect all of these things that are transpiring to have already been foreseen by Doctor Strange. As I said before, he looked into the future, 14,609 possibilities, and he said there's only one that they succeed, and maybe this is the road that's taken. So things are just all going according to plan. I also expect to see the return of characters that were in Infinity War. Namely, I expect to see Red Skull return, kind of like Thanos' right-hand man, in the same way that Mephisto was his right-hand man in Infinity Gauntlet. And I also think Eitri, who is on Nidavellir, is returning, and I think he plays a very pivotal role in the fight that's ensuing. I think that Thor decides that if they're going to fight Thanos and win, they need more firepower. And whenever they eventually get a hold of Tony Stark, they go back to Nidavellir. Now, Eitri's hands are no longer functional, and so he can't actually create anything new. He can just use the molds that he's already created beforehand. But what if Tony Stark gives Eitri the nanotech that he has on his body, and he uses that nanotech to create new hands? Now he can actually make new weapons, and I think that he's going to create one of the most destructive weapons of all time with the help of Tony Stark. I think that they're going to create something truly marvelous, spectacular, destructive, chaotic almost, and I'm a little bit excited to see what that could possibly be. As much as I would love to speculate what it is, I just want to see this happen and then just sit back and relax and watch it unfold. And the last thing I want to talk about is what's going to happen at the very end, because as the Russos have said, not everybody makes it out of here alive. And I think the very end, the last scene, is going to be the door busting wide open for Phase 4. And I think Phase 4 is going to be the secret invasion. And just like how the doors busted wide open for the secret invasion in the comics, the Avengers are fighting someone and somebody dies. And when that person dies, they cannot keep their form. And they turn back into a Skrull. And I think this is going to happen, and I think the prime candidate here is Black Widow. I think Black Widow dies in the final fight, and her true form is revealed as a Skrull. And so the questions are going to fly: who is a Skrull? Who to trust? Who do we confide in? What's going on? I already have my prediction as to who I think the undercover ruler is as far as the secret invasion is concerned. But that is just my theory. And those are the theories, as well as the theories in the first video, that I have for Avengers 4. Is it really stretching? Is it really out there? Or do I have some nuggets of truth stashed inside these things? You guys let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. And if you're new here, pound that subscribe button. But, you know, not all of them, just be gentle. Share this video with all your friends, and as always, this is Cameron with CBM Reviews. We'll see you next time.